Hey everybody, hope everybody's doing great today. We have a pretty good amount of, well, not amount, but a good selection of animals to show you today. Get on full screen here. Hey everybody. Of course, as everybody knows, this is the exciting Tinley Park and NARBC weekend coming up on us. So lots of awesome stuff happening. We have a lot of things planned, clearly, starting with this auction. So it has nothing to do with Tinley, though, other than the fact that I think in the past there had been not as many auctions. I remember only 4 pages worth. Was that a year ago? How long have we been doing this? Whatever. It's been a while. Whatever.
2 years?
Okay. Maybe it was then. I just remember there being only 4 pages, and now there's 11. So, you think that maybe some people might think like, hey, I'm not going to throw it up there because the show's this weekend, so there's really no point. People are going to be going there and looking for things, so it probably won't sell as well. But there's still people putting stuff up. So, and there's some pretty good ones here. Some things that I think honestly might go under the radar. One in specific really caught my attention. So, hey Dickie, how are you today? Carter's Coils, how are you? I'm not sure. I'm assuming we're gonna see you at Tinley as well. Heather, how are you doing? We'll get started here pretty soon. I actually put it on the computer cam thing. There we go. Cool. Yeah, 11 pages worth of stuff. We'll check at the end here as well, just to make sure. Before we get started, yes, so we're hoping and planning for something brief, a Tinley Park video, just like about a 10-minute, 15-minute video on Sunday, which the show would still be going on, but it'll be from stuff we get on Friday and on Saturday. That really depends on quite a few things. It hasn't been a problem as of late, but we've only ever done it twice. One for Schaumburg and one for the last Tinley show. But we have to get the footage, and then literally during the auction, which we attend, my brother reviews and starts editing the video while we're there. And then when we get home, he finishes it and stays up till like 5 a.m. and doesn't go on Sunday because of that. So, but I will be there every single day this year, I believe. Yes, well, Friday, barring any major issue, knock on wood. Friday we'll be there, Saturday, and then I'll be there with the family on Sunday. So, if, excuse me, if anybody goes and they catch us there, they see me there, come say hi, please. And if you aren't going and you're in the area, why? It's the biggest show in the country. It is the Super Bowl, the WrestleMania of reptile shows. So definitely check it out if you can. If you can't, well, we have a solution for that. It's our full walkthrough, or any of our Tinley Park stuff. The full walkthrough, I think, we'll try to have a quick little recap, a brief video for people who don't want to sit around for 4 hours or so, because that's how long the walkthrough takes. We take our time, per se. Some people say, hey, you're rushing through things, but the video is still 4 hours typically. We try to get as literally comprehensive as possible from the second you walk in the door and head right, and just kind of go through every single aisle, getting every single vendor. We try to tag every single vendor. We get pretty darn close to 100%. So it is the most comprehensive. So if you cannot attend the show, that is the way to do it. We tag the vendors, like I said. We have like a little document that you can click on to find exactly where you want to go. So you can skip around in the timeline, and we have the timeline itself on YouTube. What you're clicking to move around on the fast forward or whatever you want to call it. It'll show it by row, so you can kind of do that. After that, of course, we'll have our top 5 ball pythons that we always do. Our top 5 non-ball pythons, so any other reptiles. Am I missing anything?
So
Okay. When do you think we'll have the full walkthrough?
It's kind of hard to determine that if I don't have the footage.
I guess you're right. But usually we try as early as possible. It'd be no later than that Saturday though, I believe.
Is it for Friday?
Yeah, you're right. So we're trying to, because we just, YouTube likes to. I feel like they I don't know, like give and take in certain things. But if we release Tinley Park stuff, it starts off hot, and then it starts to taper off because I think that they're just like, well, you're releasing the same exact content. So we've been trying to experiment with that, and it's like, well, it's not the same content. It's just around the same event. So
Well, we don't do uncuts anymore.
yes, I mean that I'm not against maybe it someday bringing that back, but it just felt like either the uncut or the full walkthrough would just explode in some cases, and then the others would just feel like they were just filler. It was like YouTube would say it's the same thing, and it wasn't. But I don't know. You tell us, which one do you think's the best? Either way, we're gonna do the full walkthrough because it is a comprehensive way to attend the show. So if we can think of any other content to do there, of course, we're always open to it too, and whatnot. But those are the overall plans, and those, that what do you call it? The quick synopsis video, I should say. The quicker video of Tinley will be this coming Sunday if all things go to plan. If not, we have a backup, which is a cut of, what is it? A cut of egg cuttings, like a super cut of egg cuttings or something.
That's the backup, yeah.
Okay, just in case. So, but then, so we'll have that. Then that Friday we'll have the full walkthrough, and then I can't remember if it's Sunday we start doing the other stuff, or is it Saturday and then Sunday we do the reptile and then the ball python one, something like that. I don't know, but we'll have a lot of Tinley Park content. So, so look for that. It's always really exciting. Like I said, it is a full comprehensive walkthrough. It is a lot to get through, and of course I don't expect anybody to sit down for 4 hours, but as it's playing in the background or something like that, if you got time, you can look through it, or you can zoom to the vendor that you really wanted to see. So all right, without wasting any further time, we'll go ahead and get started here. Sunday. Oh, so you're working a show on Saturday. Gotcha. So yeah, and we'll see you on Sunday on my way home with our Mandarin auction pickup. Dang, nice. I got one of those. Not sure I'm gonna stick with the project though. Honestly, I got so much stuff going around, so I'm rolling it around thinking about it. But I did get one. All right, so let's go ahead and start before I waste too much time. I don't think there's anything super quick. It'll probably be going by the time we end. Usually we go over an hour, but it is what it is. So, but and if anybody's got questions or anything, as always, want to talk about stuff, just let me know. I will answer all questions that I can. All right, so spot nose, red striped clown, het DG, and a female at that. There is a reserve price on it. I don't think it says. Yeah, it does not say the reserve. Sometimes they do down there in the description. Make sure you're reading the descriptions before you bid on a snake or buy a snake, by the way. But what I always say is bid to where you are comfortable on your reserve. So don't bid right up to it though. Let's just say you wanted to spend up to $500. Don't just type $500 in here. Oh my God, it's signed in. It's been okay, cool, sweet. Sorry, ADD moment right there, but it had always signed us out. So but yeah, so bid it up in like little increments, so $25 increments maybe, to where you are comfortable stopping. So like, for example, not saying that's where I think it would be or needs to be, but you'd bid it up to maybe 500 if that's where you would go. So you keep going, 150, still reserve still there, 175, 200, you so on and so forth till you get to where you're done and comfortable, and then you just stop. If the reserve's still on it, you're not on the hook for it. But if the reserve stops before then, say at maybe 300, well, don't bid anymore unless you get outbid. So just something to think of, because if you just type 500, that's the new price, and if it had been 300, you could have maybe saved that. Let's see here. So the big thing about this is, of course, DG clowns are awesome, but this is half of a Pompeii, essentially. What you're missing here is black pastel and spot nose, or sorry, not spot nose. That's in there, yellow belly, and I mean, you could theoretically get yourself a DG het clown, you know, yellow belly, black pastel, you know, if you can find one, and I'm sure you get it for a lot cheaper. Sorry, to say female, you get a male for that. I mean, the male is going to be the cheaper one probably anyways, so maybe get a little bit more in there too, just so that you can, you know, not just be going for Pompeiis. It's a really cool combo. And not to sound like a broken record, I'm always talking about when you can make a Pompeii, you know, and how you can do it on here. But even when you miss on a Pompeii, which, let's face it, the odds are not the greatest in the hypothetical scenario I just gave you, but everything you make is really cool. When you miss making a Pompeii, you're still making really cool things. So just something to think about there. But if you can get a male with a little bit more, why not do it? So, but a female like this is a pretty good pickup, I think, especially with the het DG in there. If you are planning a project with DG in there, or, you know, clown-centric project, kind of putting those together, this would be a pretty good girl to get. If you were wondering what a DG clown might look like, well, here you are. They're very clean, very bright, very beautiful, and they age like this as well. Get creamy as they age. This one is a red stripe yellow belly, so it's kind of mixing a little bit, so it's actually got you know, the red stripe in there, but then the, you know, the yellow belly kind of swap out for the spot nose. But it's kind of in that area of what you would think the visual version might look like. So, and it is absolutely stunning. So that's the sort of stuff kind of you're messing with and hitting. So even if you were to get the DG clown with some extra stuff in there, hit just that, that is a pretty cool thing to do. It's awesome. So, all right, moving along here. We're going to talk about Stranger for a little bit. We got a couple of them here in a row. And this Stranger Inchy Yellow Belly Clown is a female as well, and has an amazing, awesome, dark but vibrant color. Just a lot of like emberish, like a fire, you know, like a log that just got out, you know, when they're kind of just blazing still, but not fire coming out of them. It's just that right there on the head. It's just super nice. I love what Stranger does. In clown, it's awesome. We are blessed enough to have gotten some really good hits on the Stranger stuff last year. I'm very, very happy with them, and the Stranger gene is just so awesome. Absolutely love everything about this, the head and everything like that. Kind of when you get a proper Stranger, they look almost like a Stranger clown. Sorry. I swear they look like the Brazilian rainbow boas kind of, and they have that sheen to them too. Obviously in a picture it's going to be a little bit harder to see it, but you can kind of see the rainbow, it there in the head right there. We have one as well that just kind of resembles that look. It's very, very, very nice. Again, a female, and a really good price too. I don't think I talked about the price on that one because I had a reserve, but $280. And now what is there? Oh, there's only an hour or so left on this. That would be an absolute steal. Only one bid at that. Lots of different options you can go with something like this. Lots of different things that haven't really been thought of yet. There's still a lot you can do with it, and it all looks great, what they've done so far. So, another one here would be the Stranger Chocolate Red Stripe Clown. So this one's got a bit more in there. This one, of course, is a bit more money, especially with the chocolate and the red stripe. The yellow belly is probably the most, just where people think about working things. They're probably loving the Stranger and the yellow belly together. And here, they're really loving that's what's probably upping the price, is just that additional chocolate kind of being combined with Stranger and red stripe. But you definitely have there is one bid. I've moved this one forward to keep the Strangers together. It's got quite a bit more time. But you do have a lot of different options here. There's a lot more. Let's take a look at the two differences between them. So obviously you have a little bit more lighter color in here. You see the dorsal pattern. You kind of get some of this granulation throughout both of them, but this one here kind of expands a little bit, where you get a little bit more of the red or orangish coming through. especially as you go down the back of it to this animal. A little bit creamier color as well. I'd say people probably would have a little bit more they could do with chocolate that hasn't been done, but that doesn't change anything on either of them. They're both really good pickups. This one being a male, though, you know, would change things depending on how you want to work it, of course. Ironically, they'd be really cool together. So, not sure I'd want the Super Stranger with that, though. Can't remember what they look like. I know I've seen it, so. But yeah, some cool strangers. No doubt here. It's crazy how you see a gene, like especially like a dominant or an incomplete dominant, how quickly they can proliferate. Yeah, I said it right. And kind of become more available to everybody. I mean, I remember going to shows and seeing the strangers available for $2,000. I think they up to $4,000 at one point. And that doesn't feel like that long ago to me. But here you go. Now you're getting visual examples and stuff like that as things become more available. So, Hilltop. Hope everyone is keeping warm and dry. What did I miss? Hey, how are you today, Hilltop? I am keeping warm. It's actually not bad out here. The cold, I don't think, is hitting until this weekend. And we did not have any issues with the horrible weather that we had. I know some people who did, so you know, pray for them. But only things you missed right now were these ones right here. We'll probably go back to a couple of these near the beginning or near the end, just because they will probably be ending, and I like to watch that. This one right here, Stranger Inchy Yellow Belly, I'm not sure we'll still be on for that one or not. And this one we definitely won't be on. I'll be at Tinley. So, that's the only ones we've done so far. So, the next one, though, I think is probably one of, unless something's happened since I clicked on this about now, an hour ago or whatever it was, this might be one of the most incredible opportunities today, if not for a long time. And that would be the Super Mackenzie Orange Dream Yellow Belly. People are going to look at this. It's gotten quite a few bids since I was, or no, it hasn't. Okay, I thought it was 20 something, but I'm just mistaken. Either way, people are going to look at this and say, well, it doesn't have a recessive, so it's not worth it. Not everything needs to do that. When you have a super, they kind of act like a recessive, right? So, and you know, the Mackenzie at one point was thought to be, you know, people thought it could be the zebra gene, because I mean, look at this. It kind of looks like, here, I'm just going to cheat and show you something I got later. You know, some of these zebras and stuff like that. You can see why people might have thought that, but it is not. It is not. It's been proven that it is its own distinct thing. But the fact of the matter is it still does something kind of sort of similar. So why wouldn't it be just as cool as this really expensive one? Who gives a hoot? They are really cool. They're incredible. There's some really great genes. If you want to work it into a recessive, guess what? It's a super. So if you work it into a visual, you're going to get all Mackenzies. You're going to get all hets. So you're going to be set for doing something like that to eventually create supers of that. You know, it's kind of like going head to head in a way, but it would still be visuals for the Mackenzies, obviously. And then het for whatever else you did it with. You know, DG would probably be a really nice one. Yellow Belly's already in there. That's probably what I would suggest. The Orange Dream's creating a nice, cool color, and definitely a creamy type look to it. It's a very nice morph. I'm kind of tempted myself. I absolutely love what it does to the pattern. You still see these nice bold jet blacks though, even though this is much lighter. I love the contrast on it. There's so many different things you could do with this in terms of color morphs. You know, immediately I think of the Monarch, just because that's where my brain goes on it. I think that would be really sharp with this. You know, if you're an ultra mill person, that would be another great way to go here. There's so many different avenues that I would think you could do with something like this. The fact that it's only 70 bucks, $60 shipping, this is not a bad deal. A girl at that, there, you know, we work striker here. That's the only thing that makes me say maybe, you know, I wouldn't need as much stuff that does something similar, but striker kind of brings in a different look to it. It's a little bit darker, and it has some granulation and such going in there. This looks a lot more clean. So I mean, heck, You know, if nobody else goes for this thing, it doesn't go into a bidding war. This is a steal. This is a steal. If you're looking at this right now and you want something that's unique, that there's not a whole bunch out there, but there's what is out there is, it's been proven to be pretty good. You can stand out because then you have something. It's in a way, it's like a marketing tactic too. If you have something that has a different name, you know, everybody knows what Orange Stream is. Everybody knows what Yellow Belly is. They're great. Don't get me wrong. You want them in things. But when you see something, you say Mackenzie, it's a conversation starter. Like, what the heck is Mackenzie? Especially if you can see it. And then you see it, it's proven, it looks different, and then it's a conversation starter. You sell someone on a project. And that's what you really want to do. That is something that grows projects like this. So I think this is the steal of the night right now, at least. Now, of course, who knows what that could become. There are some people here that are very interested, so they you know, they might be ready to go for whatever it goes for. I don't know, but we probably won't be on at that time. I won't say no, but I don't think I plan to be on right now, 2 hours and 45 minutes from this moment. So but if you are paying attention, again, you want something that's neat, that's unique, that still has a lot of room to work, and it's a super for Cry-Eye. It's gonna get Mackenzie's for everything. This is a really good one to do. So, alrighty, moving along pretty fast today. All right, another great one here. Lace Enchi Spot Nose Leopard Clown Girl. You know, I forgot. Yeah, that is a girl. So I'm gonna say if that's a boy, then you could breed that to a lot of different things real quick. But the lace gene is really why this is all amazing and whatnot. Now, it's crazy to think that, you know, this, what you're looking at here is a Batman. That's a leopard spot nose clown, which at one point would have been one of the premier top end morphs. But it doesn't mean that just because it's been worked all end doesn't mean that there's not other things you can do with it, especially as new genes start to get worked into things like lace, for example. Lace is it's been around for a long time, but it's still I'd say newer in terms of being worked to a lot of different projects. So lace is very subtle by itself, but starts to get really awesome once you start getting into things. I think we just released that video of enhancing genes. Wasn't that this Sunday?
It wasn't about enhancing genes, it was about aging genes.
Oh yeah, aging genes. Lace is on that list because, I mean, enhancing, and I think I say it in the video, enhancing genetics and aging, they're kind of, yeah, they're kind of the same. And they age very well. It's like a microdose of Desert Ghost kind of. And one thing that you can tell is that they have a bit of white, almost like someone kind of just like brought up the whites on the side there a little bit, and it really lightens up the animal and brightens it. It enhances anything it goes into. Very, very nice, very beautiful. They age very well. When you get the white lace, which is 2 copies of it, you get a really awesome animal. It gets this popcorn type look down there. They're very, very beautiful, very, very bright. I show this animal all the bloody time. I don't care. It's amazing. This one right here, this Fire Russo Spot Nose Lace Clown, I believe this one was. Let me actually see. No, that's not it. Or was it? Either way, this one right here is the best lace I think I've ever seen. One of the brightest snakes I've ever seen. Just this insane orange. So that one's the Fire Russo Spot Nose Lace Clown. That's what it is. Yes, this one has Cypress as well, which helps explain. The Cypress is already an amazing gene, but what it does is just really just pulls it to a completely another level. It's just insane. The oranges that you get on that. So that is some of the potential you get out of something like this. So when you're looking at these genetics and you see what you're looking at here, you know, you already got the same thing as the spot nose in there. You got to look beyond what you see with your own 2 eyes and try to see the next generation, really. That's what you're really looking for. I mean, like, some people have created some of the craziest things out of two brown snakes. So think about that, you know, where you're going to be able to go to the next level, not what you're looking at directly. I mean, that's important, clearly, but what the potential is when you work certain combinations together. And if you're, you know, if you're trying to take inspiration from anything, I think this is a good one to do it too. So, hey, Picture Perfect Pythons, how are you doing? You're doing good today? All right, got a couple sunsets I think we're gonna talk about today, including one that's darn near growing. Now it's got some time here, but I don't think this is gonna change much in terms of look. It's 1,000 grams. This is for, you know, this is a pretty good, especially for just the sunset. This animal has aged very well for just the sunset. Still got some nice oranges and colors there. Like I said, I really don't think that this animal is going to change at all at this point. It's 1,000 grams. So if you want a good example of the morph to work with, this is a good one. And it's, like I said, you've gotten most of the work done for you to get to size, to breeding size. You just got to put it over the edge at that point, and it's not very far from it. And then you could start working certain sunset combos yourself. So $400. I wonder what this one started at. I guess 300. So but it's still got a few, yeah, just about 3 days, just a little under 3 days left. So if you are looking to get into sunset and you're looking for a female, keep an eye on this one. Just check where it's going to be. I feel like it'll go up, but you know, crazier things. It's Tinley after all. What did I say? It's Tinley. And when this ends, it's going to be Tinley. There's going to be a lot of people who are in the community not paying attention to Morphmarket this weekend. So you got to think about stuff like that, because there are going to be places in person looking at stuff. And that's how you can maybe, I mean, heck, get a steal and make out that way. So another one here, it's not a sunset, but it's a spot nose clown het sunset boy. So if you're looking to get into the clown sunset projects, he would be a really good one to go. There is a reserve again, but we already talked about that. You just would need to meet or beat it. This is from a really good breeder, good people. We have an animal from them that I absolutely love. She is to size and she has locked, and I hope to God she breeds this year, because man, she's beautiful. So exciting stuff. Let's see if I can show her. Well, I don't want to pick her up because again, she's breeding, so you never know. But is she in there with a boy? Yeah, she is. I'm gonna leave her be. Sorry. But yeah, another great one if you wanted to work the sunset clowns. You get spot nose in there already, which is a great one that works with it because I already have it queued up. This is spot nose sunset clown, and they brighten up. They brighten up good, and that's the big thing, is to work things that brighten them like this. Of course, everybody who watches me regularly already knows my favorite sunset combo is the one that Leviathan Snakes made, and that is the Ultramel Sunset Orange, Super Orange Stream that they made, and that's gorgeous. But anything that can lighten them up like this, that's where it's at. That's what you want. You can see the difference right there between the two of them, in fact. Not sure which one that is, but either way, much brighter, and they're both very, very beautiful, but this one is going to age much better. So moving right along, this is another great one. Well, I'm signed in so you can see I was the first bid on it. I do not expect that to last. Redhead is a really cool gene, another one that's somewhat subtle until you get it into other things. You can see it though. I mean, it's very clear they have an orangish head, and it does definitely change up the body, but its interaction with clown is fantastic. You can see it right here. I've seen even crazier looking ones. There seems to be some variety in them. For one, it makes that head just like bright orange, like and it strips pretty much the pattern mostly from it. You get a little bit here and there peeking through, but then what it does to the body is just incredible amount of granulation, just very blown up, chaotic. And this is just one genetic in there. I've seen, like I said, I've seen ones even more chaotic, where it just absolutely just blows the pattern up, especially along the dorsal, the sides, and I love anything with granulation like that. So redhead clown is a nice one to get. I do not think it's going to be anywhere in this hemisphere of 25 bucks that I'm in. So you should probably just outbid me, because it's a crazy good one. You'd be able to get it into lots of different combinations and morphs too, because you have it in your male. So, you know, some people might look at that and be like, well, it's just one gene. Why would I want that in my male? It'd be better for a female. And in some cases, I agree. But if you want to work redhead into a lot of different things, then this is a good one for the short term. And I say short term because, you know, obviously in terms of breeding, eventually someday he probably would be outdated. I hate to use that about, you know, a live animal. I'm speaking strictly from a breeding standpoint, of course, but that's something that eventually you can upgrade, and you wouldn't even need to. Probably you'd make your own combination of a visual redhead clown with lots of other genetics in there, and then you could use them to eventually take his place and maybe give someone else the opportunity to work with your animal that got you to where you were, as well. And you can show people that too. It's like, look what I've made now with this very animal that I'd be now moving on from. So something really cool to think about for sure. Redhead is a really great one. There's lots of different good examples out there, and there's still a lot of way to go, I think, with redhead. Alrighty, only got like a few more here actually. So again, if anybody's got any questions, please let me know. We are blazing through this one. Tiger God Morse, how are you? Hope you're doing good today. Alrighty. So now we have a bunch of zebras to talk about here. In fact, we've got zebras and then one other thing. We talked about like what zebra might look like within the Super Mackenzie kind of, even though they're not the same. Remember that. But the zebra genetic itself is, you know, you have some. These are hets, by the way, but a lot of people say that the hets have a visual example, and well, I mean, look at this thing. I mean, that does not look like a normal. If I showed you, there's no way you would think this is a normal. I mean, it looks more like an inchy without the orangish look to it. So, you know, it is probably, in my opinion, for something that is classified as a recessive, the most visual of them. You know, some people say, oh, you get pied tracks. Those don't always work out. You know what I mean? It's just maybe, really. I mean, if they have them, it's a good indicator. But this is very visual. In fact, I would say I could probably guess all the hets just by looking at them for the most part. Maybe not every one of them, but you know, this one for sure. So they already look cool. Just by itself. What's also awesome about this is that this animal has now been grown a bit, and it is now also kind of like that one we showed earlier. It is well started. It's a little over 1,000 grams there, 1,020. So you could get a jump start on making visual zebras right off the bat. And the zebra hypo is very, very nice. If you can get yellow belly into it, is awesome too. This is the sort of stuff you're wanting to look at. And again, it just started, but like, you know, who knows? Again, this weekend is going to be interesting. So you never know. People might pay attention, you know, but all I'm saying is that there are going to be people whose eyes would normally be glued to their screens when this is ending, and they're going to be paying attention to the actual show. I'm one of them as well, so there's going to be a lot of people that do that. So something to consider when you're looking at Morphmarket this weekend, that there's a chance that you could steal one, and this is a prime candidate for it, and it's a good example. This is one of the most visual zebras I've seen, and they're pretty visual, but this is just really next level. It already looks amazing. So and we'll show you, I think I already showed you what the zebra looks like, especially with the hypo. It looks very nice. So what's up, Pythonic Obsession? How are you? Hope you're doing good. All right, got another one here. I think these are mostly all from the same breeder, if not 100%. This one is a triple het. It's a het zebra, hypo, and clown. And again, a female. This one's much newer to the world, I think. It does not have a weight but you can always message the breeder, and I'm sure they would help you out with that. But just to kind of show you again, there's really no alien heads. You get a lot of stuff stretching over the top of it, usually. Oh, wrong one. And such. This one's a little harder to tell, but again, it does not look exactly like a normal. Kind of show you the last one, just for, comparison. Wish it would let me. There we go. And what I really like about the zebra morph, and then I know this is a het, but looking down at them, from above, they look really great because that pattern's going along the dorsal pattern. And that's not always the case. A lot of them, you're going to look for the side of them and stuff like that to really get the full picture. But this one you get, and not that you don't have to do with this too, but you get a lot more of it on the dorsal. So, and what are you looking at snakes most of the time? You're kind of usually looking down at them, whether it be display cases, so it makes them really good display animals. So something that I've always noticed and appreciated about them too. But this one being a triple het just has even more. I mean, this one's double, but you could work that into the clown projects. I think when you get yellow belly into it, it really shines and whatnot too. Yellow belly really expands them. So, Tom, you said I bought her sister last week. That's visual hypo, double het zebra clown. Nice. So from the same breeder. That's cool. Did you get her yet? So then there would be this one's sister then. So, yeah, just a really cool project, I think. So, like, again, if I wasn't already into the striker one, which is kind of similar, and I still never say never with some of this stuff. I had already considered being in zebra. Just the striker fell into my lap. So, yeah, okay. Well, there you go. That's someone who I know who has one from this breeder too. So, storm waited to ship. Yeah. Yeah, we're in the area, if nobody knows, where all those crazy tornadoes were hitting. So, may add to the box. Well, there you go. I mean, if you're waiting to ship because of that craziness, which, I mean, yeah, you'd have to, obviously. Yeah, you never know. And there's more even here. I got one more to show. This one adds a different genetic. It's double again, but now we're looking at DG. Another one that's pretty obvious. Not as obvious as our first one, but I mean, look at that. Stretching over the top. There's no part of this that looks normal to me. Hets are supposed to look normal, right? They're supposed to look like normals. This one's color is a little different. Its pattern, don't even get me started. None of this looks normal. No part of this looks normal to me. I would never look at this and think that, yeah, it's 100. Now, if I didn't know any better, there's a lot of variation with normals, but I would still say, if someone said, you know what this is, I would not think that it's a normal right off the bat. So, with just as much as there is there. So, that 1,000-gram grill I'm watching, yeah, that's a really good one. So, which, by the way, if you don't know, I'll show you here. You can now watch without bidding. I used to say, hey, throw a $5 placeholder bid, right? But let's say it's at the end of the auction, or like with like a day or two to go, and you don't know for sure if you want to do it, but you want to see and you want to think about it, and it's $1,000. Just hypothetically, right? You put $5 on it and you win, and you're like, I wasn't 100% prepared to pay that, and that would have sucked, right? But that's the only way you used to be able to tell if an auction was ending, or it gave you warnings of an hour before it ended. Now it does it 30 minutes, I think, before it ended, and 10 minutes before it ends. At least 10 minutes, I know. But now you can just click this little button right here. See it? Or, yeah, I'm showing it, right? Yeah. You can click right here on this bell. I'm going to click it and unclick it. But now it will tell me, well, it's ending sooner, but you get the point. It'll probably tell me in 10 minutes it'll end soon. When you get the message, by the way, click on it, because I've noticed that they're behind a bit. So, when it says there's an hour left, it's probably like 52 minutes, really. So, but yeah, you can click on that, and then that way you can get reminded when an auction is ending in an hour, and then at least 10 minutes. I think they still do 30 minutes, but for whatever reason, mine don't do it anymore. Maybe I'm mistaken. So, yeah, anyways, back to this one. If you want to work it a little bit differently with DG, which I think is a really good one to do it with. Again, I can't stress enough for zebra. I've talked to a lot of the people who work zebra, like Steve's Morphs, yellow belly, and I've seen it with my own two eyes. Yellow belly is really a key to just really expanding zebra, in my opinion, from what I've seen and from what I've been told even. So definitely something cool to think about. Consider pairing this female with a male double het zebra for a discount. Well, there you go. This breeder is willing to throw you a bone and help you out with some other stuff too. So I'm pretty sure, I don't know, it's the same breeder. So I'm pretty sure they mean that about all of them probably. So that's really cool. So often when you buy from somebody, they're you know, I know this myself too. I'm much more willing to do deals with people who I know that are going to care about the animals, that I know that are passionate for the projects and stuff like that too. So, and when you get a breeder that does the same thing, you know, that's probably a good thing. So, but yeah, DG I think would be a really good one to work with this. Really good. So, heck, I mean, like I said, I know people like to hate on pastel, but this with a pastel yellow belly, I think that would be really bright, really nice. So, and then again, I promised I'd show it. So this is a zebra pastel. That's the reason I mentioned it, by the way, because it works really good with pastel typically. And hypo, I think we showed that one earlier, right? Yeah, and this one's triple het too. So the hypo works very well with it too. Oops, clicking the wrong thing. Where is the hypo? There was one. Maybe it's not in this then. So, give me just a second here. I'll just look it up myself. Thought it was going to be down there, but I guess not. Zebra hypo. Oh, it's also a carpet python morph. Let me specify. Is that one? Here's a zebra GG just to show you. Might as well show you that real quick, since we talked about it earlier. Pretty sharp, pretty cool. You can get yellow belly in that too. This one's het hypo on top of that, so. Yes, I definitely search off screen for a reason. If you do streaming, you'd understand. You never know what's gonna pop up. And I'm live, so. See, it is doing something here, and Google is irritating me. Why am I not finding it? I've seen dozens of them in the past. Well, I think this is an adult one. So just to show you what it would age like too. So very, very nice. They age very well. Still very bright. You know, get something in there to deepen those like DG, and then you're gonna get some really nice colors to deepen those blacks too. So, alrighty. All right, and then for our final one would be this Confusion Leopard Yellow Belly Clown, 100% het pied. There's a lot going on here. For one, it's, you know, you could technically work some clown pied stuff into here. But the Confusion, the Leopard, the Yellow Belly, these work together really well anyways. I absolutely love Confusion clowns. They are next level. What they do to the face and the head is just, you know, and the body. One thing I noticed when I got my Confusion is I didn't expect the color and the granulation looks to it. The color meaning this orangish look to it, and it expands here with this one especially, but especially near the belly you get a lot of that, and then there's granulation throughout it, not like an overwhelming amount, but look here, these flecks of orange or black within this orangish, this it's just a really incredible look to it. I mean, if you're gonna love something like the mandarins, you're gonna love that look clearly. Being het pied opens up a lot of different avenues as well. And then this person actually did what I wish every person did when you got a confusion clown. They showed a picture of the belly too. So just again, look at this. Just the face around the eyes as well. There's this crazy eyeshadow. The mouth has like these like Joker type like scars on them and stuff like that. It's cool as heck. Not real scars, obviously, just the appearance. Again, this is a really good example of that granulation, that flecking of black throughout it. This is a really good picture of it. Just something that when I got it, honestly, like, it's not like I didn't look at the picture of it clearly, but it just caught me off guard. There's more up here too. And leopard and confusion work very well together. They're somewhat similar in terms of kind of jumbling the pattern up, but they work together so well, and they're so they don't like wash each other out and just kind of just make nothing really. Like people say that clown and puzzle kind of do that together. I think there might be more you could do with that. Who knows, right? But it is a fact that they kind of do the same. Well, they don't do the same thing, but the puzzle just kind of disappears into the clown, at least in the base morph. So, but just look how awesome the blacks, the jet blacks stay in this animal. So the cool contrast of it too, and they're clean. The blacks are very, very clean. So they're just pitch jet black. So, and then here we go, the belly. The belly pattern on a confusion in general, or confusion clown especially, is so cool. Look at there near the dorsal up here. They look like hognose bellies. And I know that you're not usually judging the belly of a snake, but it's still cool. I don't care. It is still so cool. But again, great pictures of this one too, to show a great example of the morph. This one I'm watching, I know, as well. I didn't place a bid right away or anything like that. And this, by the way, if you're selling, I recommend doing. I don't think there's anything wrong if you want to use the reserves, but I do think it's, you're not getting as many bids right off the bat, right? Because when it's 25 bucks, what I said, I threw one on this one, right? I threw, somebody outbid me. Probably one of y'all. That's okay. I'm not going to rebid it right now. I just throw at 25 bucks, I will still do my old placeholder treatment. But that's the thing. They don't want it to go for that, right? So sometimes they'll set a reserve. But nobody knows what the reserve is, so, people will bid little bits and stuff like that, but they're less inclined maybe to go because they don't know what it's going to be. So I feel like things with reserves are stunted. This is just my thought process. From watching these a lot, I don't see people bid as much on reserves until the reserve drops. Alternatively, when you start at a higher bid, usually you don't have any very quick bids right away, but that's the thing, is when you do get a bid, it's a serious bid. And now if you place this animal at your bare minimum, like this person clearly is like, I don't even want to sell it for $350, but that's the least I'm clearly letting it go for. Well, now you're guaranteed to let it go for that, and you're guaranteed to sell the animal. So start it where you are you're comfortable seeing it go. So, and who cares if only one bid happened? It doesn't matter. That was the sale. So, some decent start to this one too. I didn't see that at first. I mean, it's not like anywhere near breeder crazy, but usually you see them in the hundreds, 150s. So it's pretty cool. This one was from, by the way, a Canova snake. I know a lot of people make they really want to pay attention to that. And I do think that there's something to be said about the quality of animals, in which case, obviously, Canova has very quality animals. So, yeah. So, really cool. I like when people do stuff like this too. Like when they show me the pairing. I think it's imperative. I think, quite frankly, it should be required to list the snake, because then it tells me if things pop up out of nowhere. Let's just say I am breeding this animal, and I don't know, a lot of this is pretty not obvious, but let's just say for some reason I got a really low expression blackhead or something like that, and then suddenly that pops up. Or I know they say they tested for it here, but it was from a double het. There's a lavender albino, something like that. Let's just say I didn't even know. Let's just say they didn't give me the hey, I did this test, with RGI. If they didn't say that they did the test with our friends here at RGI, and they didn't give me that information, let's just say down the road, because things can happen. It's if you go to their site, they're honest about it. It's not 100% test. Things can happen. So let's just say something popped up down the road, maybe even generation, a baby from them, and I never would have known. So you know, in this case at least, then you kind of know that it was at least in that line at some point. It's not likely that's going to happen. Let's face it. They're pretty solid. They are pretty rock solid tests, but that is a possibility. It's more or less just like, you know, so this one's not the perfect example of it, just because this is pretty obvious that they got this one right. But there are morphs out there that that can hide. That can be difficult to tell. And maybe I have a different thought process on what the animal may be. So put your pairings in your description if you're listing. I know I'm just telling you as a seller, you know, and I'm more geared towards the buyers, you know, but that's what I want to see. I want to see the pairings. Plus, then it makes it so that I can make those videos where I guess the genetics. So, because without the pairings, we can't do those. So, Nanak says, I agree about the pairing being listed. I also think every seller should have the messaging option mandatory. Some don't, and then they don't have social media either. So how do we ask questions? Yeah, I mean, I like I said, for sure on the pairings, it's part of it. It's just like, what, you're not going to put the genetics up there or something. I think it should be just as important as the genetics that are in there. I mean, in the end, if somebody doesn't want to talk, I guess you can't make them. But I mean, I don't know what good they're doing themselves, so I didn't even know that wasn't option. Messaging option. I didn't know that wasn't a thing. And now on these you can't, by the way. On the listings, for whatever reason, I don't know why I think that they're just concerned that since it's an auction or something like that. But if you go to their actual site and stuff like that, so oh, I just realized he made it from his own creation as well. So this was what he paired it to, was one of his own created babies, so in-house. So, but sorry, got off topic there. Let's see here. Oh, just to show you what they're. Wait, what? Well, I think we saw something we weren't supposed to. That's what he has it valued at. And you saw what it took me to. That's the same listing. So that's what they have it valued at, just to show you. I didn't know that happened that way. I thought that was supposed to be not there. So let's just pick one that I don't think is an auction. Maybe they all are. Who knows, right? I pick some of these off. So, okay, inquire. There you go. So they do have it on here, but for whatever reason, I don't know why the auctions don't have an inquiry. But most of these sellers will tell you just message me on, like you said, on social media, or message me on another animal. Or can you do this on their page yet? Can I just do this? I know I've said this for like over a year, but we are going to start listing some of our animals. Some of them on Morphmarket, some of them on some other platforms, like our own things that we're doing too. But a lot of them I've been selling at shows and stuff, or been creating for my own holdbacks. But we will be doing that. I'm not blocking them. Jesus. Oops. Yeah, I thought they at one point said they were going to click and do this too. So, but yeah, we'll be listing them. So I know I went like way off topic there in several different directions, but that's me. So I am definitely ADHD diagnosed. So, but yeah, I agree. I think that, again, the pairings, it should be part of this. I didn't put it in here, quite frankly. Or just, you can have it over here too, above this, whatever. That's why I say I can't say enough of why you should be reading the descriptions. And if you are selling on Morphmarket, you should put your pairing at bare minimum. You might forget occasionally, and you might learn as you go, but you should do that. So, it just seems weird to have an inquiry to buy. Just ask a question about the animal. What if the question is the deciding factor? It makes me change my mind. And that's the fact. I mean, people joke about it all the time, about, like, tire kickers. But I mean, like, you should be allowed to ask questions without the obligation to buy. Now how you ask those questions is the thing. you might have a question about something like this. But if you start asking a lot of things, like, hey, can you take a picture of this? Can you take a picture of it this way? Can you do this? Can you do it in this light? That's when somebody's going to be like, are you going to buy it? Because I got some other stuff. I'm not, I got to run home. I want to do stuff. Something like that. You know what I mean? It's just, at that point, it's just like, why don't you come to one of my shows and I'll just show it to you. I might be far away though too. So, but I guess it just depends on the questions you're asking. If you just have a general question about an animal, ask. You know what I mean? If anybody expects that to turn into a sale, then they're just I don't know what word I'm trying to say, but they're not in the right mind space. That's not, you should be able to answer questions, especially basic questions that don't require anything besides your own knowledge. Basic things. When was it born? You know what I mean? At the very least, you should know, the breeder should know the month, I would say. I have been trying to keep the actual day lately, but for a while I was just doing the month, and such like that. But then I think this last year I had some crazy, insane, I didn't have a lot of clutches, but like nearly every of them, one of them was like themed. I think we had a 4th of July clutch, we had a Halloween clutch. Wait, did we have a 4th of July? I think that was our first clutch. Yeah.
We had one in June or July, and then
I think
the
that was our 4th
rest
of
were
July.
November and December.
No, October too. We had a Halloween one.
Oh, I guess it was technically cut then, but it didn't go up till November and December.
Right, yeah. But it was Halloween on Halloween night. So, yeah, I think people should do that.
That's actually the one that was uploaded before Christmas. We themed that one around Christmas, but it was actually cut on Halloween. I don't think we ever said anything about that.
Was it really? Yeah, I know we were way overbooked, or not overbooked, but we had a lot of stuff. I want to get back to that where we have so many extra videos waiting in the wings. Those are fun because then you don't have the stress of having to sit down and make one. I think the weight should be listed always. No, I agree. Like I said, most people do list it, but there are some. I think we looked at some. I'm not going to call them out because I don't like doing that, but I believe I saw one and I caught its attention, and I might have said something. I don't know. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But sometimes you forget too. That's the thing. I get it. You're putting it through. There's a lot of things, but sometimes that might not be on the breeder. Yeah, you forgot. But like especially, I think I know which one it is, and I think they did a couple others where they did have the weights. I think we talked about that, in fact. But that's the thing. It should, like when you're filling out a statement online or putting your payment card in, if you forget something, it goes red and it says right here you forgot it. That would be nice if they could change that too. So yeah. It'd be cool, but things are always improving. So, I think we will get some of these things, these wish list things, at some point. And that's kind of how you, good catch. You Sunday got to run for a Patreon Zoom meeting. All right, yeah, we're finishing up here, anyways. You got the meat and potatoes of it, so I'll see you Sunday, Tom. I'm sure I will run into you. I'll be there with the family and whatnot, but I will be there. So let me check this one. It's ending in 20 minutes. Maybe I won't be on. Who knows? You guys are going to have to keep me gabbing for 21 minutes, but that's okay. This one was a quick one, I think. Was it? We got a bunch of people here. So if anybody's got any other questions or whatnot, let me know. I got time, but if not, then we will split. But again, just to kind of recap, if anybody is asking questions, you can write them out there. This Sunday, we have plans to release a quicker Tinley video, which is kind of like like one of those 15-minute videos where we'll have some interviews and stuff like that. There's some people who I'd like to talk to. I think I'm going to try to talk to Bushville Reptiles again, more about the house snakes, because I'm all in on house snakes. I'm actually picking one up. Surprise. What are you most excited to hit this year? I will answer that in just a second. Yeah, I'm all in on them. I'm picking one up, so surprise on that. It's a really exciting one too. One of the greatest morphs. Ahead of it, I should say. There's only hets there's only recessives that we know of yet, and polygenic morphs, which means that they have a certain look of the locality. That's something to kind of wrap your mind around, that when you get into other reptiles and other snakes, there's different ways to look at the genetics and such like that and how they look. So I'm very in on them. So I plan to maybe talk with them, but I want to kind of talk first, in general, but then I'll maybe plan something brief for a video for around them. And then we kind of play it by ear. I kind of just want to go around and get the lay of the land, talk to people, and if I think people are open to talking, you know, going, because not everybody's open to talking, and that's the thing. They might have the most amazing snakes, but if they don't want to talk, or they're just kind of, you know, if I don't think that they would, some people just don't have that sort of gift to kind of just, like, when a camera goes on them, they you know, they get, and I get it. That can be anybody at any time, but you know, and I don't want to put anybody in a bad light if I thought that would be the case. So I kind of feel people out as I'm talking to them just in general, to see if maybe it would work, if it can be a good look for them and for the animals that they're representing. So that's what we're kind of trying to put together for that video. So then that Friday, I think, is the full walkthrough. Like I said, most comprehensive looks that you're going to get from beginning to end of every single table, every single vendor. Just, you know, we're going through. It's a busy show, but we're going to get as comprehensive as you can get, so you can get a look at every animal. It's like you were there. And if you were there and you missed something, you can go back and look at it. I've done that. I've literally looked at my own video to go find something that I thought I missed, and I was able to figure it out. Help people find stuff too with that, find other vendors and that they forgot about, and connect with them again. So then we have our top 5 ball pythons, top 5 non-ball pythons of other morphs, or not morphs, sorry, species of reptiles, or maybe not reptiles. Could be invertebrates, could be mammals even. Didn't we have a mammal? Yeah.
Sugar
gliders.
Schomburg.
Yeah, they're cool as heck. But yeah, there could be lots. Obviously, most are going to be reptiles. But and then what? Am I missing something?
I don't know what we call that, the montage, I guess, the Sunday montage, walkthrough, the 2 top 5s, maybe a pickup video,
depends on how much we pick up. Otherwise, I'll just bake it into something else, probably the montage. That's what we did a few of the other ones too. So okay, so what am I most excited about trying to hit this year? There's a couple of them. I mean, anything with the monarch stuff. I'm growing a lot of that out still though. So next year that question will be, I'll just give you a sneak peek of next year. It'll be monarch stuff. Monarch pied, monarch clown, monarch puzzle, with some extra genetics sprinkled in there as well. Next year is going to be heavily monarch stuff, but I do have some monarch stuff going this year. Just normal monarchs, pastel, genetic stripe monarchs, and pastel works great with monarch. Very, very good. And what is this? Why am I getting a call from GameStop and Portage?
Huh?
Yeah. I don't understand why. Okay. Anywho, that derailed me big time. What is it? Oh, the one I was trying to show you earlier is a GHI black pastel red stripe yellow belly clown. I wish she was head hypo, but we tested her and sadly she's not. I'm putting her to a GHI spot nose clown head hypo. And that one I'm really excited for. Obviously that's in the Pompeiish group, but the GHI being in there and a very high chance of hitting GHIs, some super GHIs too. Very excited. All the GHI I got is from high quality stuff too, so I absolutely love the GHI morph. It's incredible. And that's something I think a lot of people need to pay attention to now, is that there are really different lines or examples or whatnot, you could say, of these morphs. You know, I think, for example, pastel has a bad reputation because there's a lot of dirty ones out there. And by dirty, sometimes dirty can be a good thing, like chaotic and stuff like that. But, you know, I think we all know what I mean by when I say that. But there are really good examples of it too. There's literal lines of this, of these, like the no-cal, was it the special? You know, there's different kinds of pastel and stuff like that out there. Just like there's different kinds of lines and looks of everything else. I mean, look at Stranger. I think I talked about this once. If you go online on here, I'm not going to do it because, again, I don't want to call people out in my thought process. But there are different looks of the Stranger gene. I really love the way mine look. I got mine from Spartan Pythons. But if you look at all the strangers, you're going to start seeing differences, and you're going to even say, like, are these the same? But it's the same thing with all these. And when you get quality ones, and all my stuff came from quality people, so, you know, Canova was one of them, and, can I not remember? Petrogenetics. Yes, Petrogenetics are great people. I got the female from. That right there could be the most excited one I have, and they have locked as well. I also have a Pixel Cypress Pastel Het Genetic Stripe that I'm putting to the. Did I put it to the Confusion, or did I put it to the? I got so much stuff going on here. No, I think I put it to the same male. Yeah, I think I put it to the same male. So I'm excited about that one as well, but I won't hit visual clowns with that, but I'll get the hets. I'm actually not even interested in working the genetic stripe in that project, personally, just because I think, well, it was told to me by the breeder, the person that sold it to me, that genetic stripe actually, something that they discovered, didn't work as they had hoped with Pixel. So I'm going to take their advice. Got some puzzle stuff going on. I'm actually just sitting here looking at it. So, I do have one pied thing I'm really looking forward to. Which pied I work it quite a bit, but I mostly for pet level projects. But I do have a blackhead Enchi. I think she's yellow belly. Yeah, yellow belly, lavender het pied girl. And she's really nice. And I'm putting her. And I got her from Justin from Canova. I'm putting her to an Enchi Orange Dream Pastel pied het lavender that I got from Rice Reptiles. So again, talking about good quality genes, putting them together. So those should be really nice, regardless of what I get, as long as I get some visuals, please. So I'm sure I will. So, but that's probably the one that I mentioned, the GHI Blackhead. The GHI Black Pastel, red stripe yellow belly clown girl to the GHI Spot Nose clown. So it's clown to clown, but he's het hypo. That's probably one of my most excited ones. So yeah, I don't think I'm missing. I could be missing. I'm probably missing some stuff, just not thinking about it right now. But yeah, that's probably the best one. So I think we'll call it there. Let me see. I don't think. Yeah, it's just still got some time, so. But keep an eye on it if you're interested in this one. It'll be ending in about 10 minutes, so. If you're in the Clown DGs, that's a pretty nice one, so. But yeah, hope everybody enjoyed. Again, if you are at the Tinley show and you see us, or me, because you don't know what he looks like. Not yet, anyway. Just come say hi. So, and if not, we'll catch you in the videos in the next one, so. Everyone have a great night, and we'll catch you next time.